Hello, beautiful peoples. So, I was originally going to do a live video regarding time management, but that'll be my next one. I'll wait until there's a couple peoples. Alright, so this is kind of a popular subject lately, and I think it's amazing because you guys are all crazy like me. I've had a lot of people lately, and I love it because I feel like maybe I'm having like a positive influence of somehow, just to give you guys a belief system in yourself of going all in with this business. Like, how do you even get to that little, like, it's not even little, that huge hump? Like, okay, I'm working, whether it's part-time, full-time, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, whatever, and you're just wanting to like go, right? Like, okay, like if Miranda can do it, crazy Miranda can do it, maybe I can too. And then now you're at the point where, you know what, 2019, I'm just ready. So I just wanted to share a little bit with maybe some tips that can help. Like, how do you even bridge that gap? How do you prepare? Like, how, right? So I will tell you, as far as my own household, when I first started the business, I had a husband that literally did not believe in this business, okay? So I used his disbelief as fuel for me to go. Not many people can do that. I'm a weirdo, okay? Anytime I have a hater or just really whatever, anything that's negative or whatever, telling me I can't do something, I'm gonna go prove you wrong. So, and my husband was the number one. He was terrible. Okay, so for him, I got him home within 10 months. I had a choice to make because we do have debt and all of that adulting stuff. I had a choice to make. Do I retire him sooner and get him home sooner, and still work on like the debt on the side? Or do I make him stay working a little bit longer and knock down the debt faster? That is a choice that you and your spouse, if you have one, need to decide. You know, obviously if you're doing It Works and your work, then you're gonna pay off things and have savings more, right? So for me, my time was more valuable. To this day, at midnight, I lost my mom 4 years ago. So it'll be a rough day. I'm feeling okay at the moment, but I know it's gonna hit later. And for me, time is everything. Time is something that you can't get back. And yes, paying off things is important too, but in my opinion, time comes first if you can get it. And so here I have a very skeptical husband and so much trial and error, blah, blah, blah. And I hit a breaking point. I hit a big one. I suffer from like anxiety, used to be depression, panic attacks, just, yeah, I'm a giant stress ball normally, okay, because things have improved. And so when all this was going down originally, I had a newborn on my hands, which that by itself is just a lot. I had a newborn on my hands. I had my 2 older kids, and I brought in my niece, and I had 2 puppies, and my husband worked all the time. I felt like a single mom. So if there was ever a time to be stressed out, that was my time. And I still worked full time too. And so I had no breaks. It was literally, and really, when does moms have breaks anyways? But I really didn't have any breaks. I didn't sleep well. You know, it was awful. It was awful. My niece needed extra attention. Back then, the kids were not like my kids today. Like, I feel like I have different kids now. They were just cranky all the time. They fought all the time. They'd try to hit each other, and they got bad grades, and just like, they were not happy kids. And so they were just little nightmares. Oh, crappers. And so it was just hard. It wore on me every single day. And it started being where I was having panic attacks every single day. And if you've ever had one, you know what I'm talking about. They are so beyond uncomfortable, a little scary. Like, you feel like you're having a heart attack. Like, they're just super, super uncomfortable. And I started getting them really, really frequently. And I hit a breaking point. So it was starting to be where I pretty much knew when it was coming. And so it was every evening around 5 or 6 p.m. And my husband didn't get home until close to 10. And so what I would do is give the baby to my oldest and literally escape the house for 30 minutes to an hour to just breathe. And it started being so bad that I was doing it 4 or 5 times a week. And I remember just thinking, like, I can't keep doing this. Like, this isn't normal. And on a particularly bad day where the kids were just extra, when my husband got home, I broke down. And I told him, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, either bring your mom to come live with us, which I love my mom-in-law, but who wants family to really live with you? You don't. Come on. And so, or I'm like, it'd be cool if I had more help from you. And he's like, well, because remember, he was very skeptical. He's like, well, if you kick butt enough with this company, I'll come home. And I'm thinking, no freaking way did he just say that. So it was the extra little push I needed. So he told me this, and I remember just thinking, like, okay, I've got to figure my crap out. And this was the biggest, like, time in the business where I really researched. So I got my notepads out, and I'm just like, I got to figure out what to do. I know that I have to talk to more people. I got to make better posts. It just has to be like crunch time, right? And so researched, and Jade Hooper was really my most go-to person. And then I just went, okay? And I brought him home. Now, I've always been like the number one breadwinner because I made a lot at the hospital. Made like 4 times what he made or something crazy. So I'm going to talk about mine because it's a little bit different with mine. And so I knew that I at least had to match his income. And so I did it. Within, I think it was 3 months from when we had talked, I brought him home. And so it was pure crazy, you guys. It's been a game changer for us as a family, that's for sure. And so as far as with myself, fast forward, or actually rewind, and I was a broken ruby. And I remember going to this event, which they used to call them One Team, One Missions. This is why events is crucial for your business. I went to a One Team, One Mission, which they call fit parties now. And I got off of work. Like, I missed work for it. And I got some crap from my boss, let me tell you. And piled people into my SUV that I had at the time and traveled 6 hours or something crazy to go get it. And I remember listening to this woman on stage saying, oh yeah, I'm a retired doctor, a psychologist, and I have been doing it works full time. And I wasn't paying attention until this woman was talking. I'm like, wait, what? Somebody in the medical field? A freaking doctor? No way, you know? And it struck, like, it was the seed that had needed to be planted, okay? And so fast forward, and all this stuff is going on, and I bring hubby home and all of this. And then, like, you guys, I matched my income from the hospital. And I still didn't do anything, okay? Because I was just like, nope. I'm not stopping at my job. There's no way. Like, this is full-time benefits, $50 an hour or more, you know, like, that would be crazy. I went to college for this twice, you know, like, but it never left me. And the more and more that I was at my job, the more and more I realized just how toxic it was for my soul, you know, like, I hated it. It got to the point I would drive into the parking lot and just sit in my car, like, dreading going in. And I can't even say that I had traffic or anything, you know, like I used to have Seattle traffic. I would have to fight through like rush hour traffic. This particular job, I didn't even have traffic. But I was a supervisor. And whenever you're in charge of people, like it's hard all by itself. You're basically like a counselor. Like you really are. Diffusing situations. I worked with doctors every shift, and working with doctors is very, very difficult. They're moody, they're cranky, they're always right even when they're wrong, and if there's a situation around them, things get a million times worse. And so I was the go-to for answering all the phones and helping doctors and helping with procedures, and I still had to do my x-rays. Like I didn't slack, because I had the same mentality that I do now back like with my regular stuff, that you need to be the hardest worker in the room. Like you need to work hard. So I'm still sitting there doing x-rays all over the hospital and helping people that were dying, sick, broken, you name it. And then we started getting shorthanded and more shorthanded and more shorthanded, to the point where it was like unsafe. And I don't have a strong body. I just don't. Like I have a herniated disc in my back. I've given myself 2 concussions at work. I have 3 autoimmune disorders. And so me being sick is a normal thing, like, right? And I just remember like sitting in my kitchen and asking myself, am I going to be okay in this same job for the next 40 years? And it gave me the worst stomach ache, because I didn't even like my job. And the people that I worked with were not nice to me. Like, it just was crazy, you guys. And so it was kind of like my aha moment, like, man, like, okay, like maybe I need to do this. Now, when you're going all in, you guys, I had a huge job. Like, this is not something that you just, oh, I work at Target making minimum wage, you know, like, it's not a big deal. This was a huge job. Like, the shift that I was on doesn't exist in other hospitals. It was a very unique, kind of cool shift. And then the amount of benefits I had and all of this, like I had been there for so long that I hit milestones with like my 401k input and like all this stuff, right? And so it was not, it's like, number one, you cannot make it an overnight decision. You just can't. Okay? Like, you've got to really think, what money are you bringing in? What money do you need to bring in from this company, right? And sit down. So if you're making, I don't even know, if you're making $2,000 from your company or your job right now, you need to at least match that, right? But I think that it needs to be the rank above that to be safe. Okay? And this is why. Because let's say you make $2,000 from your business, your job, whatever you're working at, every single month. We work in a business that is a yo-yo kind of thing. Like, we're on a roller coaster. There's going to be highs and there's going to be lowers with your pay. It's commissions, monthly commissions are variable. Like, you never know what you're going to get. Now, I've been with it enough where I kind of know where the dips are now. Right now is not. This is the highest that we're going to be getting paid for the year. And you've got to recognize the dips. And so if you're making more than what you were making before, then you're never going to be in trouble, right? Because you are making more, right? And you can pay off your stuff more and all of that. And you have to be good with your money. You have to. You have to be able to budget, is what it is. And so if you are not good at budgeting, you probably should take a budgeting course before you even go all in, okay? Now, like, it would be smart to run, and we have a folder in here, you guys. Look it up. I'm trying to remember what I titled it as. I want to say debts, credit scores, or something like that. Look it up. Because at the very, very top, I actually give tips on this. So there's a Facebook group that I'm in that's for free. And it will help you with your credit and paying things off and all of that for the debt side of things and getting your score up and all of that. But there's also tips in there as far as budgeting, okay? So you want to have an emergency fund set aside. You want to pay off your debt and you want all of this, right? So you need to have a realistic goal here. You definitely have the option to quit your job. Don't ever think that you don't, okay? I will tell you with me, I will never ever leave this, like ever. I have never felt so sure of where I belong in my life. Like I'll never leave this. I love what I do. I truly love what I do. Like I love helping you guys. It is my heart. I have helped more people doing this than I have in 15 years in the medical field, and I've been doing this for 3 years. I will never ever stop. So with that knowledge, you know that you have an upline that will never leave you, and I'm right by your side the whole time. So one thing to know, for me, I worked 32 hours a week. I worked 2 16-hour shifts back to back that were just nasty shifts, okay? And that kind of work doesn't go away when you quit. And that is the biggest issue people have when they go and do this and try to like quit their job, okay? They're like, okay, I'm gonna quit my job and now all I'm gonna do is like watch TV all day and like, you know, I'll clean the house and I'll do all this and then you're not even working your business. And then you go into boss mode and bossing your people around. You're not enrolling, but you're telling your people to enroll. You are like, right? You're not even leading by example anymore, right? And that is the most dangerous thing that you can get yourself into. So whatever amount of like hours that you put into your normal job, if you put it in with this business, you will be an ambassador like in lickety split time, because I teach you guys how to get the majority of your work done in an hour, right? Can you imagine if you're pulling 8 hours doing your same, like the same hours that you were putting in for your job, putting it in here? Heck yeah, you'll be an ambassador. Like, because that's a lot of friggin' time. I have to pick up my dad soon. And so I'm not telling you that you need to work 8 hours, but you certainly got to work. It's not nothing, okay? And so it's very much where you have to time manage. You know, whether you have kids or whatever the case may be, you have a kid, kids, spouse, pets, whatever, like you have to still get your work done. Hi, Heather. Like, yeah, my house is, I have a huge house, you guys. Like, it's huge. It's 2 stories. Like, it certainly doesn't clean itself. I've got 3 kids, 2 dogs, husband, and time management is a tough thing. It really is. But like, just whether it is doing your work before the kids wake up, doing the work when the kids go to bed, whether it's when the kids are at school and baby takes a nap, you've got to put your time in. And so have a realistic goal. And then just know that you're going to work your little tail off, okay? And so, number 1, don't get in that little hole in yourself where maybe you're really blessed and you have the coolest leader, and I'm not saying myself, because the majority of you guys are signed up with somebody that's underneath of me. Whoever signed you up, and they're just like a sweetheart, and maybe they stack people here and there underneath of you, right? Don't ever expect it, because the minute you do, goodbye. That is a blessing. It is a gift, and it should never ever be an expectation. So don't, where I'm trying to get with this part though is, Miranda, I want to go all in. I want to quit my job. I want to do this. I want to be home. I want to be home with my babies, which I think is awesome. It's totally doable, and I want that for you. But don't expect myself or whoever signed you up to stack everybody underneath of you so you can get there. It needs to be in your head where, no, I have to do this for myself. And it also don't expect your downline to have that same drive and motivation that you do, because your why is different than their why. you know, and they might love you, but they're not going to feel what you feel about being home. Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, Sarah, I'm going home. Like, you know, if you want to work, that'd be great. Now, like, come on. But Sarah might be like, dude, I don't care. I just wanted some manicure money. Like, I'm good, you know, like, right? So everybody's drive is a little bit different. So you can't expect your downline to feel the same fire that you feel and expect them to all of a sudden do all this crazy stuff, right? So it has to be where you know where you want to go. You're pulling the charts out. You guys, I have it set up in here where I go executive, ruby, emerald, all the way to ambassador, where the chart is in there. And I do a video attached where you know how to hit that rank. We know averages only, right? Averages is 200, 500, 800, 2,000, 5,000, 9,000, 16,000, 35,000 per rank, okay? But that's an average, right? And so if I was somebody that is looking in and watching, like, okay, Miranda's talking right now, like, I really want this to be my life. I really, really want to go all in. I want to be home with my babies. I know they're worth it. I can feel that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Miranda's not going to quit. She's going to work with me, da-da-da. So, number one, you're going to look up the album in here for the credit stuff and the debt stuff. You're going to pull your credit report and look at the reality of how much debt you owe. And that needs to be where you know what it is, right? You need to look at what current bills you have. And is it set up like, because some of us overspend, right? Is it set up where that's a reality of your bills, right? You know, so it's rent, car payment, car insurance, cell phone bill, everything, including gas for your car, food for budgeting, certain things that we don't typically think about for budgeting. It's like entertainment, you know, are you going out to movies? And I personally would pull up your bank statement and do an analyzation of it so you can get a grasp of what you've spent, right? The last time I did this, you guys, I did this before I quit, and this is why I'm sharing it. I pulled my bank statements, and I want to say I did 4 months worth. I pulled it, I printed it, and I did the math, because I'm nerdy. I did the math of how much money I was spending for gas, how much money I was spending for groceries, how much money I was spending for eating out, every bill plus the extras. And then I did the average. So then I did the totals, and then I divided it by 4, and that was my average for per month, because I wanted to see what I was spending, right? So now that you have all of what the bills kind of total is per month with your debt, now what rank do you need to hit in order to be able to come home, right? And that, pull out the charts, right? I was having a conversation with somebody the other night, one of my leaders, and they're like, Miranda, ambassador really isn't as like, I mean, it's hard. Okay. It's hard. But ambassador isn't as crazy as you think it is. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. You guys, I have 4,000 distributors underneath of me. 4,000. Obviously, you look at the number in this group, not all of them are working. Okay. 4,000. Do you know that you only need like 456 distributors in order to hit ambassador? That's not that many distributors. It really isn't. And so ambassador makes $35,000 a month. And then when you hit ambassador, they give you a 2.0 spot where you can even make more. This business is never ending. They keep giving you extras so that you can earn even more. 456 distributors. I'm nerdy. I'm going to break it down for you. So if you look in the ambassador tab right now in the albums, you can see what an ambassador chart looks like. It's 5 people, you guys, 5 leaders that are working side by side with you. That's it. 5 cool people. Where are your 5 best friends? And you're going to work side by side with them. And then they're going to find their 5 and so forth. 5. So literally, like, you think of a deck of cards and you're flipping. And you're going to find your ace. Oh, there's one. You're flipping. Oh, there's an ace. Flipping, ace, and you're looking for 5 of them. Okay? And so ambassador is not nearly what you think, you guys. It really isn't. And so it's doable. It's so doable. So don't ever think for 1 second that any of this isn't possible. It is. It's just being smart with it. And so let's say, hi, Miss Nicole. Let's say Miss Nicole wants to come home. And maybe she was making, I'm just guessing because I don't know what people make anymore. Let's say she was making $2,500 at her last job and now it's just time. Maybe she either wants to quit, got laid off, quit, whatever, right? And she's like, Miranda, I want to go all in. All right. If you were making $2,500 before, I know in my head that it's in between diamond and double diamond, right? Diamond averages 2,000. Double diamond averages 5,000. So I say go for the double, right? So that we can be secure at home. Because what I was just talking about with the roller coaster, there's going to be months where it's a little bit lower. And it usually, I'm going to be honest, because why not? It's usually by summertime and it's by Christmas time. How ironic, it's the same times that us distributors kind of slack off. Because we get into vacation mode for both of them. Summer, where the kids are out of school and we're vacationing all over. Yeah, I'll work my business tomorrow, you know. Same thing with Christmas. There's Thanksgiving and there's Christmas right there and your holiday shopping and this and that. Yes, so what happens is that for Christmas time, it's right now that people are like, oh crap, my paycheck kind of sucks, right? Because you slacked off the last couple months. For summer, it is the minute that like June kind of hits, June, now August paycheck and September's kind of suck. So if you're one of those that go all in, just don't stop. Just stay consistent. That is how I ranked to friggin' presidential in August. Like most people don't rank in August, but it's because I don't stop. You just stay consistent. And it's not to say, you guys, I went like all over the United States, like traveling this year. Like you can rock both worlds. Okay. So pull out the chart that matches. Know what your debt is. Know what your bills are, right? And know like that you've got to put the time in. Don't expect your upline or your downline to work your chart ever. Like you have to, like you have the chart in front of your face and with it, you're going to know the volume to match. My boy is so tired, so I'm going to go drive him. You know the volume to match and then you break it down. When do you want to hit that rank? So I did this yesterday. And maybe it'll make you feel better, whoever's like listening and like, man, diamond, I don't know. I did my rough estimate for hitting ambassador. You okay? What's the matter? I'm live, but what's the matter? Are you sick? Okay. I'm going to tie this up. So I did my estimations with ambassador. So I still do this, you guys. So I definitely do what I'm teaching. I need roughly, super roughly, because doing the actual math is just too much. Super roughly, I need 50,000 BV. And I need roughly 50 plus distributors to be boxed and then hitting ambassador. Now, I know how it works though. I would rather be overly stacked for my boxes, my 400 boxes, because it's sustainability. I'm going to hit a low network. One sec, guys. I'm going to hit a dead spot. Dude, I'm live. That was not me. I'm going to drop you off right here. I got to finish this live. What's the matter?
I woke up right at 8:30.
Oh, well, I woke you up before I left, sillies. Okay, give me hugs.
I passed out.
I love you, honey.
I'm just gonna show him.
It's going to be awesome, though, because Grandpa's coming.
Yes?
Yes, I'm going to go pick him up in like an hour. One mementos. Oh my gosh. Bus will be here in a second.
I know. So I'm trying to hurry up. I grab random clothes.
Well, at least they're clean, I guess. This is why Mom says get ready the night before. Do you have lunch with you? That's not good. Just go charge it. I think that we still have money in your little bank thing. Do you need money?
We can try.
I think I have some actually. There you goes. All right, enjoy your day. Love you. We'll see you after school.
Okay.
Grandpa's gonna be excited to see you.
Bye, live video.
It's our team. You can say bye, team.
Bye, team.
All right, but hurry up.
I'm trying to get my jacket on.
What is on your arm? The dog hears. Okay. I'm glad you picked the warm coat at least.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys hear me right here? Because usually this is a straight up dud Wi-Fi spot. Love you. Alrighties. I love how I just drove him so many feet. All right. So anyways, hopefully this is at least recording or something. I don't know. So I needed 50,000 and about 50 distributors, but in my head, I'm saying more like 200 to 400 distributors. Okay. For Ambassador. So what I did yesterday is I jotted it all down, right? And then what is my time frame that I want to hit it? I want to hit it in March. Okay. So that's giving me basically 2 months. I'm not counting this month. 2 months to hit my goal. So then I'm like, okay, 50,000, 2 months, divide that in half. So I know my per month one, right? So now that's 25,000 BV per month. And it is 25 to 100 distributors per month, right? So now I know my monthly goal. And then now what is my weekly goal? I divide that by 4. So that is how I do it with all my leaders too. Okay, what rank do you want to hit? What time frame do you want to hit it by? And then I know a rough estimate of where they're at, where they're going, and then I divide it. And so then it becomes into a weekly goal and it's so much more doable. And then for myself, I can think, okay, I also have my leaders helping. So this isn't just on me, right? So it even gets easier. So my calculations, what ended up being where 50,000 BV, you guys, that's a scary a lot amount. That is basically like 5 diamonds, right? However, when you break it down for the leaders that are working and everything, it basically ended up being where it was like 300 BV and 1 distributor per week per leader. That is how cool it can be, like if you really break your stuff down. So, yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to share that tidbit. I'm right beside you guys with like my goals and stuff. So, if you are one where you're wanting to go all in, like you're just ready and you're willing to put in the work, okay, I want to have a conversation with you. I think that it's important to like really have that powwow first, because the worst thing that I would want for your family is that you go all in and then things crumble. Okay. So please send me a private message. I mean, we don't have to make it all fancy if you don't want to. We can just send voice messages or something. But I really do want to have like that conversation. But I'm telling you right now, like whatever job you're doing, if you put that same amount of time into your business and have it where your time is, it's not where your Facebook scrolling, because that's not going to make you money. It's literally going to be about that the IPAs, the income producing activities that I teach you guys. So there's a daily poll in here, and that's really what would be focused on when you're home. So yeah, I hope that helps somebody out there. I don't know if I missed really any comments. Okay. Nicole, yes. Lori kind of gave me a little bit of tidbit of things, and we've got to have that conversation, I think. So I hope you all having a good day. I will probably bounce back in here shortly because I want to do a time management thing, using today as a prime example of like how can you manage your time especially when you know you're going to have a busy day. So for myself, I have my dad coming, and obviously I can't work like normal. So I will be hopping back on. Thank you all. Have a good day, and I will talk to you later.